Hi everyone, Dr. Jo Messenger here. In this live video today, there's quite a few different aspects of a similar topic that I'd like to cover. So today is a new moon, and a new moon means that is a really good time for you to set new intentions. It's like a fresh start, new moon, new energies, new projects, new. So especially today and this evening, this is a really good time to get clear on what you'd like to manifest and create for the next 4 weeks in the lunar cycle. And it's also a really good time to actually write it down, because when you write things down, it adds more energy to it. You know, there's a big difference between renting an apartment and signing your name on a mortgage. You know, when you write it down, it's real. It's a big difference between moving in and living with someone and writing your name on a marriage certificate. You know, when you write it down, it's like a contract. It makes it real. So if you can write down what your intent is for the next lunar cycle, the next 4 weeks, it's more likely that you will actually create it. And whether you draw it, whether you write it in words, completely up to you. But yeah, make it clear. And we've also got coming up in the next couple of weeks, the 22nd, 23rd of September, is the Equinox. Now that literally means equal night, so equal day and equal night. It's one of the 2 times of the year where the energies change direction, where they're still for a moment and change direction. So in the southern hemisphere, we've been going in, and we'll be still for a moment and then coming out. In the northern hemisphere, precisely the opposite. It's the changing of the seasons, the changing of the direction, the changing of everything about us. So this is a good time to have equal everything, equal giving and receiving. You know, to bring the things about you in your life that have been out of balance, to bring them into equanimity, into equilibrium, into equal balance. So giving and receiving, thinking and doing, your doing and being, balancing your work life and your personal life, equal. It's a good time. And you can do this at any time, of course, can't you? But it's just easier at particular times when you're in alignment with the earth cycles as well. Just like when you meditate, you can meditate anytime you like, but it's easiest when you first wake up because your brain's still in those theta frequencies, and when you're about to go to sleep, because you're heading down from your beta, your alpha, into your theta, delta, and maybe even gamma, depending on your abilities and who you are and how practiced you are. But so it's easier at those times. So it's just a case of, well, I'm all about doing it easier, not harder, quite frankly. So at the end of this live, I'd like it to be easier for you to understand the importance of why you need to balance these things and how to actually go about it. Because what's the point of a whole bunch of knowledge if you don't know what to do with it? You know, it's the integration, it's the experience of the knowledge, it's applying it into your life that turns it into wisdom. You know, we know a whole bunch of people who have a lot of knowledge that aren't necessarily very wise, and vice versa. So it's really important. You know, neuroscience is kind of caught up with what the mystics have been telling us for thousands of years. And so it seems to be a time now where our brains are more able to handle information than what we perhaps couldn't in the past. So it's important, neuroscience tells us it's important to master our environment, our body and time if we want to create a different future, if we don't want to just keep repeating the past. And I'm sure that that's the same for all of us. You know, we'd really like to create a better future for ourselves, our communities and our planet than certainly what we've manifested in the recent past. So what can you do with your environment so that it is supporting you rather than dragging you down? Do you need to declutter? Do you need to put on nice music? Do you need to light some candles or make it smell nice? You know, what is it that you need to do? Does it need to be less busy? Does it need to have more energy? What is it that you need to do with your environment to have it support you? Your body, what do you need to do with your body? Do you need to move it more? Do you need to move it differently? Do you need to give it different nutrients? Do you need to remove chemicals and toxins, toxic thoughts? You know, what do you need to do for your body to have it support you and have you support it? And time, you know, what are you doing with your time? Are you thinking about the past? Are you still churning over situations and experiences from the past, old wounds? Or are you projecting continuously into the future? You know, it'll be better when blah, 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 blah. So where's your focus with respect to time? Because it's present time consciousness where the magic is. And this is why even when we meditate first thing in the morning and last thing at night, that's where that doorway to the subconscious mind is easier to get through. Okay, so let's make the most of that. Now, with the different areas of your life, all of the areas are important, aren't they? You know, everything. If it's like a wheel with spokes, it doesn't matter which spoke is off. If it's off, it upsets everything. So the stronger the spokes, the more balanced the spokes, the better the wheel turns. However, the four main spokes that seem to be more important than the others are your work and your career, because that's largely also to do with your sense of fulfillment and also your finances to support everything else that's going on in your life, and your health, your relationships, and your spiritual connection. So most important to have those four in particular equally balanced so that they're supporting you. Alrighty, now let's get started. Down to the nitty-gritty of it all. So when you first come into being, you know, before you incarnate on the planet, I'm popping my head out the top of the picture by the looks of it. Before you come into the planet, you sit down with your higher council of 12 and you decide what you're going to do in this lifetime. So you decide your strengths and your weaknesses, and everybody will have 3 wounds and 3 equally happy times to balance out the lifetime experience. And it seems to be that as people, we don't really change much unless we have a wound to push us, you know, unless it's really in our face. If we have a crisis, then we change. So you pack into your suitcase for your lifetime what it is that you need. So if you're going to be a concert pianist, you need fingers that are going to be able to reach the keyboard. If you're going to be a beautiful singer, you know, it's a good idea not to be tone deaf. It's good to have a good voice. If you're going to be a bricklayer, then you need to have strong muscles and, you know, be capable of doing that sort of work. So you pack into your suitcase what you need to be able to fulfill your life purpose. Then at the end of your life, you sit down in quiet contemplation again with your higher council of 12 and you assess, how did you do? You know, did you resolve the issues that you decided to resolve before you came? Or did you part way there? Or did you not even assess them at all? Did you suck your thumb, go, it's too hard, and left it to do another time? And then you contemplate again. When you reincarnate again, you choose your 3 wounds, your 3 balancing gifts or happy times, and so on and so on and so on. So as you look back along your main line of energy, you've got diamond after diamond after diamond for all of your incarnations. Now, what's that got to do with this particular point in time in history? It's got everything, because all of your diamonds are within a bigger diamond. So when you sit in your quiet space, you can access all of your gifts and talents from all of your other lifetimes. You don't have to relearn all of the things that you've already mastered. And this is where we've changed direction from linear learning, from the masculine way of learning, you know, stronger, harder, faster. If you want to get from here to there, then you do this course, pass this test, work hard, 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 which is the way that we've been doing it for thousands of years. But now we're doing it more quantumly. So rather than having to learn linearly, you can learn by reclaiming parts of you from different lifetimes, different experiences. Now, this becomes really important with respect to relationships, because everybody else on the planet, they're doing the same thing. They've sat down with their higher council of 12, they've packed into their suitcases whatever they need to learn for this lifetime and all of their gifts. And the more connected you are with somebody, the more your patterns overlap. So this is why it's important to be really clear on what's your energy and what's somebody else's energy. And it also helps to understand how we energetically influence each other for better or worse. So the more our energy is elevated, the more we are positively affecting the people around us. And the more we are lower in our frequency, unfortunately, that too affects the people around us. Now, all of these blueprints for all of us are within the blueprint for the whole planet. So just like we have lines of longitude and lines of latitude, all of our energies, our personal energies, align with the planet itself. So at the moment, it looks like the planet's having a lot of issues, and it is. But it's the people that started the issues off. You know, it didn't start with the planet, but now the planet's on board as well. So by us resolving our issues, we help improve everybody in our community, and we help improve the planet as well. So you can work on a global scale, going out there and, you know, doing land care and waterways care and promoting, you know, equality and inclusion. If that's your bag, and some people are naturally good at it, that's exactly what they need to be doing. But if you're a little bit more introverted, if you're a little bit more shy, you can make changes to the planet by changing yourself, by changing you in here. Okay. Now, let's take a look at your master diamond for this lifetime in more detail. So, you have a main line of energy that comes down the middle, you have a left line of energy, and a right line of energy. Much more detail, but this is where I'm coming from today. So all of these connect you to your source energy, and if you're grounded, you're connected into the planet as well. So on the right side, this is your male energy, your yang, your physical, your positive with respect to polarity. This is also your thinking. This is the electrical. It's the mind. So when you send out a thought, it sends out an electrical signal out into the world. And the left is the feminine, the yin, the spiritual. the negative with respect to polarity. It's the knowing. It's the magnetic. And it's the heart. Okay, so the whole point of this is we need equal. For thousands of years, we've worshipped at the shrine of thinking and thought and physical and masculinity. And it's not appropriate to just swing the other direction and just go to the female, spiritual, the knowing and the magnetic. We need both, the integration of both, the equal balance of both, so that within yourself, when you have a thought from your mind, you send out the electrical signal. And the feelings in your body are what attract back to you that signal. So if you're attracting back to you into your life what you want, keep doing what you're doing. If you're attracting situations and experiences that aren't what you would prefer to have, then you need to change the thoughts and the energy that you're sending out. You need to change the signal that's going out so that you have both in balance, so that you have your mind and your heart on the same page. So the signal going out and what you're attracting back in are the same. You follow me? Makes sense? Okay. So the equinox we've got coming up, this is the easiest time to fine tune the balance between your masculine and feminine. The first thing in the morning, last thing at night, best time to do your meditations. And how long do you need to meditate for? You know, it's kind of a personal thing. Some people, excuse me, like to meditate for hours. Some people don't want to meditate for 2 minutes. It's a personal thing. But the rule of thumb is however much energy, however many hours sleep you need at night, that's how many minutes you should meditate for each morning and night. So if you need 8 hours sleep at night, meditate for 8 minutes when you wake up and before you go to sleep. If you only need 7 hours sleep a night, meditate for 7 minutes when you first wake up and when you go to sleep. You know, entirely tailor it to you. Okay, so where to go from here? You're welcome to join the Meditate in the Clouds Facebook group, where we'll be doing more meditations and meditation techniques aligned with where the planet is and where people are at the moment, because obviously we need to change. You know, the things that we've been doing for thousands of years, they're not appropriate anymore. Well, no, some of the things are appropriate, but not all of the things are appropriate anymore. So we need to get clearer and clearer on what to keep and what to upgrade and what to get rid of completely. So in that group, that's a safe space to be doing that. And also I encourage you to work on your own self-mastery right now. You know, this balance, it's really is up to you. The finding the sweet spot, you know, not too much, not thinking all the time, not just feeling, meditating all the time and not getting anything done. Tailoring your life so that you have both, so that you have the clear thoughts, the clear electrical message going out into the world, and the pure feeling magnetizing back to you what's right for you. Righty, until we meet again, remember, laugh lots and you get more of what you think about.